Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle R's from CZT Rieko Yaginuma. And I hope I pronounced that right. And it just occurred to me, I should have waited on this one, and we could have done it on national. Well, I don't know if it's an international thing. I know it's here in the U.S., and I forget when it is. The National Talk Like a Pirate Day. It would have been perfect, but anyway. All right. So maybe we'll just bring it back. Everything that starts with an R. Okay. This one, it's interesting, but it starts off with, I'm just going to put some dots. So I'm going to put a dot in the middle, and it's kind of like a pentagon, but with the dots, with one in the middle. I don't want them to interfere with the pattern. On my version of the step outs, you will see I made them more like dots, and you can still see them. And but for this, let's try not to. Now, I always have trouble with this kind of a thing. So what I'm thinking is, I'm like, okay, here's the center dot. I'm coming out, and elevated just a tad. Same thing on the other side. And as you know, it doesn't really matter. It's all good. Whether it's, look at, let's just see how I do this with this one. Not too shabby. All right, now for the rest of it. All right, and I did make one, I think one modification to this. And not a modification, just a clarification, because we start off with putting R's all the way around. But as I did it, I thought, well, now wait a minute. Because, we'll start with, the straight line down for the R. And then to come around and finish the R, but then it's like, oh, like you have to picture that, this line here. I'm like, well, wait a minute. We don't really have to, it doesn't hinge on anything. So why not just go ahead and put all of those lines in right now, right at the beginning, and then we don't have to guess and, potentially overshoot and all of that kind of thing. So starting with here. Now, this is another, I don't think it matters. I do like to try to replicate at least first, what what the instructions have, what the tangle looks like, and then we can kind of go off on tangents. So it's one of those, I don't know that it matters, but let's just we're going to finish the R here. I'm going to try to make that bigger than what I did. You'll notice all of my inconsistencies, especially since I'm now pointing out that there are some lots of them on my version of the step outs. But there we have a nice R, and we're going to just turn it counterclockwise. So turning it to the left, and as long as it's going the same direction, it's not going to matter. So if you ended up flipping it, that's okay. And I was trying to keep this part of the R, well, it's just one of those, I don't know. This one looks like it's about halfway, because what I was trying to avoid is this part meeting, like this is kind of close right here. In the end, it doesn't matter. It's just, those are the things that I think about while I'm tangling. All right. What did well, I'm looking at my tip. I'm like, I think I might have just bent it or something. Yep. Or this is the one that I have in supposed to have in a different container because I bent the tip a little bit. Okay. And it ends up a lot thicker than what it should be, but it'll work for now. Okay, so there we have gone all the way around with our R's. Now, I had trouble interpreting or what the next step was. I was trying, doesn't look like another R. That's what I guess that's what I was trying to determine. So what I just, okay, I take it back. So I did make another modification. I separated these, step 4 into 2. Yeah, just because that's how I was thinking it needed to work for me. So what I decided was, first, there's a big curve line that comes from this section, this little intersection, we'll call it. The other word is escaping me. And we're going to go to here. Now, well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Let's do this, and then we'll do it again quicker because there's a variation, but I couldn't quite figure out one of the parts. So what it looks like is you can make this rather tall, and by tall I mean like this, rather curved. And again, starting here and landing here. Wow, that one is something. I'm getting practice on this one, and I'll show you why in a minute. So, okay, well, there we have it. It looks neat. I like it. Okay, and then there is a little curve line, a little C shape coming in like this, and I was trying to tell if, yeah, I was just having trouble seeing if it's just like another beginning of an R. So I'm just going to do this because that's the best I could figure out. So just a little curve line, you know, in that space from, yeah, right here. Okay, now we can stop here. I should have had one prepped, but we'll run through that again just in case. All right, in case you missed any of it. That way you don't have to stop and rewind, because in this way we can do the variation. All right, so again, let's see if I can do this good twice. Dot in the middle. And then I go straight up, then off to the side, but angled a little bit up. Same thing on this side. And then down here. Pretty good. All right, I'm impressed with myself. Oh. All right, so taking these lines out, and then we shall start our R's, or at least the finishing of the R's. And it's interesting because as I was looking at it, this part threw me for a bit of a loop. But maybe if I, maybe we'll see on this, if I figured it out by just kind of going a little overboard on those. Okay. And that is the next step. All right, let's see. I'm looking at it again. Yeah, let's continue the going overboard. So let's see if I can replicate that. It still looks neat. It's just different than the way I had done it. Now I want to redo my step out, but that's going to take a lot of work. Okay. Oh, and then this one. Well, okay. Oh, one more. Alrighty. Now, for the variation, what it looks like to me, and we've done this kind of thing before, where usually we do it with the flux shape. And I keep going back and looking. All right, so let's do this. So I'm going to do a nice curve line here. See, then it does kind of match up because looks like there's two. I don't know. Maybe I could put one here. I don't know. This is one. Let's just do one. And then, well, this one could fit maybe another. Okay, it'll just go behind. Let's do that. And then this one big one. Yeah. take a look at the For More Inspiration link and give me your thoughts on this part, because it's called the ruffled. And on my version of the step outs, I ended up just doing like this and then all the way around, because my this shape was a bit flatter. So I'm like, well, let's just do that. So there is an alternative depending on how you're, how you did this. Yeah, it's just interesting. It's almost, yeah, I don't know. It's almost like it was constructed differently is what I feel like, but I don't know. Anyway, it still looks neat, and that's what we like. And you know what? I could put another one here, but I think maybe I'll just leave that because that's cool. All right, now we can play. And you know what? I really liked what I did on my version of the step outs. So just the plain one. So like I said, you can stop here. And let's do this. I just decided to do little wispy lines in the middle. Coming from the middle, I should say. Like that. And then, because we have all of these neat spaces to decorate. Now, you know what? Because I really liked it, so I'm going to do it again. And then here, I did some straight lines coming up on these. Yeah, this is the Goofy pen. All right. And I'm just doing some light lines. There are so many ways that you could have fun with this. So this is just what I came up with. And I do like these, using these lines. It's just, I think it's neat. All right. And then just played with shading. And this one I decided, it'll look even neater here. We're just putting some graphite on the outside of this. You could put it on the inside too and have it look like it's curved. Could put we'll put a little bit of graphite right there in the middle. And then we'll spread it out a little bit. Probably could put some on the edge still and make it look curvy. I don't know. We might play with that. What I'm going to do next, though, is I wanted to put some up here on these curves. So we'll see how it looks and then go from there. Because this, yeah, that makes those look definitely rounded and pushes them behind this, which I think looks neat. And the thing that I was considering is if I put graphite, on this side, yeah, even though it'll make it look like it's curved, because I put it on the other side, it just might be too much. And we'll have graphite remorse and we'll be sad. I'm just kidding. No, then I would just find, okay, well, what else can we do without using an eraser? But it looks really interesting that way, doesn't it? I think it's cool. All right, now on this one, oh, you know what? We could have, well, we can have different fun. It's fun to have different fun. This one, I am just going to subdivide all of these spaces. And then do some rounding. Now, if I'm smart, oh, is that the smallest? Yeah. As I did one, I've moved to the 003. Apparently, I don't know where my 005 is hiding somewhere. The 003 will work fine. if you have a challenge with rounding, look at how nice that is. I have a challenge with the rounding because it just ends up looking sloppy. But because I've gone down, this is essentially 2 sizes, then when you're doing this bit, it fits right in to the line that's already there. So it I don't know, it makes it a lot easier to do. If only, though, I would remember to do it every time, because I usually find it to be frustrating. I know some others that, also find it to be frustrating. And also too, getting the little curve, and especially here where it's, the angle is such that you're not putting too much there. But if you have a challenge with it, I recommend just focusing on curve of your hand. That's why I'm turning it every time. So that way I can just do this. I'm like just pivoting a little bit. And I keep my hand in the same place. The Tangle Floors uses this. It's basically a grid, and then you're doing rounding. And as much as I like how it looks, it's like, ugh, and I don't know. Some of it was, I know I had an expectation on myself for that rounding that was not necessarily, it was very lofty or something. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm like, oh, like I wanted them to be perfect diamonds or something. And then once I gave up on that idea, or, where the rounding is exactly right in each time. And I think when I gave up on that idea, it made things a lot better. I always like doing that. It's so neat to do that. Another thing you could do is, instead of doing the rounding, it's kind of, I just started off as rounding, but you could just thicken the top as well. And that could go on either side, and it has a completely different look. If you've done the Tangle Mycelium or Pepper, it uses that technique. All right, let's see. Oh, you know what? Here's what I feel like doing. On this, I'm going to turn it into a spiral inside. Or apparently it's a 6. Something came across me to do that, and so that's what I'm doing. All right. And I think this time, I might continue to shade it the same way, except I think I don't know. I'm going to be more deliberate with this, and then bring it up maybe into, like this. Okay, let's just spread that out and see what it looks like. As if I'm not going to do it on the other ones, because once I've done it, then... Oh, see, that's interesting. And then could just put a little bit on this side. Okay, I like it. I've talked me into it. This, though, I don't know. I feel like something else has to be done there. Oh, although I could do this again. And this, I'm doing it on, I'm calling it the back side, because these have the impression of being behind, the one in front. So that's why I was just putting it on that one side. This is turning more into talk on shading then on this tangle. That's okay. I know nobody minds. Well, at least I hope not. Yeah, I think I'm going to do the same thing I did on this one, because it looks nice, and it just needs something. And I can put some graphite right in the middle of there too. Still feel like I need to do something with that. It just ends. And I did notice on one of the samples, it was this version, I think. This part wasn't so high, but they did a triangle coming out. It just looks like birds. You'll see it. It's really cute. All right, maybe this I'll go a little extra dark. And then I can always bring it up and around that bit if I want to. Yep. That's cool. That's cool. This shading never gets old. It's so magical to me. It just, you know, especially if you're not necessarily happy with what's, you know, with what the turnout. And then just start adding some graphite and see what happens. It's just neat. Yep. Oh, that's right. I didn't put any on these. That will help. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. Ours. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I didn't spread this out. If you did, please click on the like button. And if you liked it enough to see more, I'd love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I mentioned the description section several times about the step outs. Below that, if you liked it enough to connect, below the links to the step outs is my Linktree link, so you can follow my all my social media is on their website, so you can follow my blog if you wish. On that, this is a daily tangle that I do. When I do it, I post it here on YouTube, so you'll find it there if you subscribe. But then I also, if you want to subscribe to my blog through my website, I do it as a daily tangle, and I put out a blog post on it. Let's see. Also on the Linktree that I want to highlight is, I do classes twice a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays, generally, unless I have a schedule thing that I have to change things, and I always try to change versus cancel. I do a lot of them are free classes. Thursday in particular, that's called Tangle Time. That is 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. my time here in Michigan, which is Eastern time. But there are a couple places on the Linktree to follow me if you wish, and if you're interested, so that way you could see when I post classes. I have some, like Tangle Time, that it's just a giant recurring class, so it's just always there. So you will find that. And then too, if you follow that, then it shows in your time zone. Makes everything a lot easier. Let's see. So we have that. The Tuesday classes generally have a fee, or I do have some things that are exclusive to my subscription membership club. Information for that is also on the Linktree. And last but not least, because we have so much fun on my classes, and a lot of the fun comes from our fellow Tangle addicts that join in. And while they're not on, when we don't have classes, then you will find everybody over on our Tangle Addicts community. It's a Facebook group. And so the link is there. You have to answer the 4 questions. That it helps me know that you're a real person, and that you're okay with, doing that. And I mean, it's nothing horrible, but I think mostly it's just, it tells me that you're a real person. But anyway, so there's that. Come join us there too. And with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.